Hey guys, long time no see, literally. Hey, welcome. It's Wednesday. It's been a lovely rainy day, and now we're having a little bit of afternoon sun, which is nice. I hope y'all are all having a nice day. Thanks for being here. And we are going to do slower flow yoga, which is very exciting and much needed right now. Over this last weekend, I did my first Reiki training, level 1 Reiki training, and they introduced this concept of Vastu, which is a term referring to clearing your space before you do anything special, or really just anything of note. So like before your yoga practice, before, I don't know, journaling or meditation or anything that feels a little bit more highly charged or spiritually charged, just taking a moment to clear your space. And that can mean cleaning, like literally cleaning, doesn't have to mean cleaning. But it can mean just like visually taking away things that you do not need around you, things that you are of no use to you during your practice. So I just have that in mind right now as you get ready to practice yoga, just to clear away anything you don't need, and also keep the intention that we are moving into something different. We're shifting into a different part of our day. So gather around you anything you might need. I'm gonna have a blanket, definitely. So if you have a throw blanket, grab it, blocks, whatever you want, your water, and we'll get started. We'll get started seated today. And in this slower flow, my intention is to start a little slower and then have a little bit of movement. It won't be challenging really at all, that much movement. I mean, it'll be definitely get our systems going, and then we'll drop into some longer holds, and then we'll probably finish up with maybe a restorative pose or two. So just that we're all aware of the goal. Sit on your blanket. Maybe turn off your notifications on your phone. That can be another way to clear the space. And just find your comfortable seat. Crisscross is fine. You can also sit up on your shins if that feels good, or on a block. Let's just recognize the space we're in. Take a little look around so our bodies can catch up with physically where we are, what we're doing, and then as you take that in, you can close your eyes. And my immediate somatic, my immediate body action when I close my eyes is just to take a deep sigh. It's almost like shuttering those windows of the eyes allows you to notice, like, oh man, I haven't taken a deep breath in a while. Get to notice more of what's going on the inside without all of that external input. So we'll take a few breaths just noticing what's going on. And the term I talked about earlier, Vastu, can also mean clearing your space inside your head and inside your body. We'll start mentally just dropping the weight of the energies or the thoughts or whatever's going on emotionally or mentally, just going ahead and shedding and dropping that weight. If it helps you to visualize, you can just imagine your brain starting to fill up with just a clear, luminous blue light. When things start to settle down, you start to drop in a little bit more into what's going on inside, just noticing and being careful not to judge anything that we uncover, anything that we find as we journey inward. This is a neutral journey. It's not about us deciding what is good or bad. And just feel that clutter is moving out. Things are starting to get a little bit more focused and intentional. And we will all collectively, though we are not together, we will collectively set an intention for our physical practice today to, much like Vastu, clearing of the space, we'll set an intention for our physical practice today to clear our bodily space, to clear out any congestion, any stickiness, any places in the body where we feel blocked up. Let's drop our chin towards our chest. It's almost like you're trying to pull the tip of your chin to meet your collarbones or that spot on your chest. Just pull down. And then we'll drop our ear to our right shoulder. Press your left shoulder away from the left ear so you can get some extra length on that side of the neck. And even like tilting your head back and forth. I know when I tilt my head towards the back, there's different parts of my neck that stretch, and then tilting forward feels good. And then drop the head straight back. You'll probably feel this in your throat from that collarbone area all the way up to the tip of your chin. And then left ear goes to left shoulder. Just gentle pulling, gentle tugging of the right shoulder away from the right ear, and then let's rock side to side. Again, just starting those little movements that are going to help clear out our physical clutter. And then finally dip the head back again, chin to chest. This time we're going to take our palms together at our heart center. Just in reverence and in honor and sanctity of this practice that we are sharing together. Bring thumbs up to forehead, bow forward, and then let's begin. Come on up, open your eyes. I'm going to begin today in tabletop with the blanket under your knees. Just adds a little bit more of extra, just a little extra cushion, a little extra love for those joints. Because while we are trying to move through things physically in our body, we don't want to cause any blockages ourselves. So in your tabletop, tops of the feet down, palms down, fingertips facing forward. We're going to take some circles with our ribs. So dipping your ribs low, and then coming up to the other side, and then it's like big hip circles. It's almost like moving through cat and cow, but you're moving side to side instead of forward and back. Pretty generously bending in my elbows, feeling my hips go back and around. We're just going one way for now. We'll switch in a few moments. Just starting to feel what's going on today. Do one more circle, and then go the other way. And just be as big and loose and juicy as you want to be. You're at home, nobody can see you. And if you do have someone that can see you, I bet they're just jealous that you're getting to do this. So do a couple more times going the opposite direction. I can feel some creaks in my elbows. It's just good to know, good to notice, good information to have. Go ahead and come to stillness. Come to hands and knees, tabletop. Once again, let's pull our chest forward for cow. So this time stretching a different part of the back and the chest. And then cat pose, round your spine. Just feel light in the hands right here. Cow. Cat, pull the belly up like you're trying to bring your hips towards your face. Cow, big inhale forward. Cat pose, round and exhale. Cow, inhale. Cat, exhale. We're gonna do one more, big chest forward, and then settle back into our tabletop neutral spine as best we can. Take your right arm up, reach it open, and then thread it through the left. We're gonna do a couple more in movement. Reach up and thread. Reach up, pull through. Do one more. And this time we're gonna pull it through and we're gonna hold it at the bottom. You can take your arm, take your hand above your head. Bring a nice stretch into the left arm as well. Or you can tuck the hand behind your back, reaching for the right thigh, opening through the left shoulder. Reach the arm back around, left palm comes to the mat. Reach your right arm up, one more stretch, open. And then we'll bring that palm to the mat. Let's move to the left side, reach up. And then pull it through, lower the ear to the ground. Reach up. And through, left ear to the ground, y'all, this time. Lift and open, thread through. And then we got one more. And your shoulders all nice and warmed up. And you can choose, reach above your head or tuck your hand behind your back. I'm favoring tucking my hand behind my low back just to keep my shoulders nice and open and my chest spread out. Because I don't know about y'all, but I feel like I've been doing a lot of rounding forward in my shoulders. We're here just to do some things we're not normally in the practice of doing to help balance out our activities. And then untuck the arm or reach it back towards your face. Press down in the right hand, lift the left arm up. And then we'll come back. We'll take some wrist stretches. Flip your palms. They're still down, but your fingers are pointing towards your knees. We're just gonna rock back gently. Stretching through the forearms. It's okay if the heel of the hand lifts up. No problem there. And then side to side, same position. And then we'll flip palms. Hands, palms are turned up, fingertips in towards the center, and then again, rock side to side. Our wrist can hold a lot of congestion. It's such a complicated joint, so all the little bones in our hands can get blocked up. Now we're going to do one more little wrist stretch. Give yourself a fist bump, so knuckle to knuckle, and then place the backs of your hands, still knuckle to knuckle, fingers curled in towards your palm, just like you're giving a fist bump, and then we're going to take some hip circles. So forward, over and back, just a couple of times. These circles do not need to be big. It's a lot of sensation here in the wrist. Ooh, yeah. You'll start to feel those blockages pretty acutely. Remember, we don't want pain. Sensation's all we need. Okay, that's enough. Yeah, that's enough. That feels good. Let's sit back onto our toes. Or sit back onto your heels with your toes tucked underneath. And here, I'm gonna keep my knees on my blanket, sit on my heels, just like you are. And with the toes tucked, reach your arms above your head, interlace your palms, press your palms up to the ceiling, and we'll just take some circles, doing some flossing of the shoulders. So we're just going one way for now, bending the elbows to circle out behind the head. And this is really just to take our minds off the sensation in our toes. And then go the other way. Now if you think about joints, it's kind of like, they all have kind of like what we have the space between our teeth where we need to floss because stuff gets trapped. Your joints are kind of the same way. You obviously can't physically floss them, but doing some extra movement, let's press palms up and back as far as you can, as far as feels good. But doing some targeted movement for those joints and spending some time feeling them and moving them repetitively, it can help to floss and irrigate and get all the stuck stuff unstuck. Awesome. All right, we'll bring down our arms, untuck your toes, sit back onto your heels with your feet flat, so just the tops of your feet are on the mat, and then take your hands a little bit closer if you need to, just peel your knees up. So we did the backs of the toes, now we're gonna do the front and the tops of the feet. You can bring your knees side to side, or if it's plenty to be still, then just be still. Side to side, okay. Lower the knees. Tabletop, y'all. Take one more inhale and reach your chest forward, tip your tailbone up, and then draw the hips back, downward facing dog. Working through the backs of the legs, through the calves. Do some of those motions to help gently open through those different channels and those different muscles. So pedaling the feet here. Until those muscles feel nice and warm, a little bit more warm than they were before. That's all we're doing, is just doing our best. Be a little bit better than we were a minute ago. Take your right leg up behind you, bend the knee, open the hip. Whew. Inner thigh stretch, start to circle here as well. So I'm circling my knee as if I'm trying to draw a circle with it, with like a big marker. And that action is coming from the joint of my hip. And then let's reverse. Try to keep your shoulders turned down to where the armpits are facing the mat as best you can. Good. Stretch the leg out straight, back strong, and then foot to floor. Left leg goes up. Bend the knee, open the hip, and then get going with the circles. We're really digging out here, digging out through the joint of the hip. And then go the other way, dig the other way. See, my hip pops when I go one way, but it doesn't pop when it goes the other way. It's cool to know. All right, stretch the leg out back strong, three-legged dog, and then foot to floor. Take a couple more pedals. We're gonna come up onto our toes, bend our knees and look forward, and then take a
giant step to the top of the mat. Forward fold. Let's do our first ragdoll. Grab your elbows. And the nice thing about ragdoll is you're using all of that weight from your upper body to decompress the spine and to stretch and open the back body, the lower back body of the legs. And if you spent like an hour like this, you'd find that your face would get like closer and closer and closer to your legs, because that decompression would happen a lot more thoroughly and your legs would open much more, but we don't have that kind of time. So we're gonna take a half lift here, reach your heart forward, then forward fold, tuck in. Come all the way up to stand, reach both arms up. And then let's just bring hands to heart center. Close your eyes. Here we are in our practice all together, near and far. Then reach both hands up once again. This time, interlace your hands so that only your thumb and pointer finger are out, and interlace the other fingers. Reach both arms up, lean over to the right. And then come through center, lean over to the left. So we're really anchoring down through those feet, especially the right one, as we reach away. So we have to have an anchor to reach away from, yeah? Stretch the skin over your ribs, just press your ribs out to the side. Then come back up to center. We're gonna do the other side again, just not as long. And then reach back up, another side, and then one more set. So you start to feel some opening, start to feel some additional space in the body. Reach up. This time draw the arms behind your ears if you can. Start to point the fingers back towards the back of the room or your space. Careful not to bow out in your low back. Keep your tailbone just a little bit lengthened. And then release the arms by your side. Loose open palms. Drop your shoulders. And we'll interlace our hands behind our low back. Press the knuckles down. Feel your heart poke forward. Bend your knees right here, so it's almost like this gentle chair pose. And then from here, just let your body fold over your lower body. And then the knuckles draw up, chin tucks in towards your knees like a little puzzle. Our bodies are so cool. There's so many places that just fit right together. I can tuck my face right between my knees. And then bring the knuckles back towards your low back. Your knees are still bent. And then we'll just come up for the half lift here. Press the knuckles back. And then forward fold. Keep the bind. Bend in the knees here. And then half lift, stretch. And then forward fold. Tuck in, bend the knees. Half lift. And then fold, tuck in. This time release the fingertips down. Come up to a half lift up. Step the left leg back to a low lunge. And just like we flossed the shoulders earlier, we're gonna floss our hips a little bit. Lift your chest, come forward. Exhale, pull the hips back. So our back knee is lifted here. We're just coming into this halfway pyramid pose. And then pull forward and hips back. Forward and back. Forward. Draw them back. About two more. And then one more, reach up. Tap the back knee down. Adjust your foot if you need to, so it's right underneath your knee and the front leg. Reach your arms up. And then exhale, we're gonna take eagle arms with the left arm underneath. making sure, see my elbow is about at a right angle. That's typically what you want. You don't want too much compression on the front body. So lift your elbows away from your chest. And press your forearms forward. It's gonna open up through the shoulders. And we're even gonna take a little bit of a back bend. So the fingertips start to reach up and back, lengthening the tailbone down still. And you can take this as far as feels good, and then we're gonna fold your eagle arms over your front leg so your fingertips are pointing forward. And it's just like another puzzle fit right here. And we're just gonna pause. Notice the front of your left thigh, the front of your hip. And unwind your arms. The left hand can come to the floor. Make a fist with your right hand, and then dig your knee into your armpit. I do this like pretty much every day because of how good it is for your lymphatic system, the drainage of your lymph nodes, and just getting some movement there in the armpit. How often are you manipulating your armpit? Not very often. So let's go both directions. Circle out, dig it out. Awesome. Okay, release that back down. Place your hands on your mat. Tuck your back toes. Step back, high plank pose. And then from this high plank, nice and strong, we're gonna just slowly lower to our bellies. Take your arms out to cactus. And all that means is just right angles pretty much in your elbows, and alignment in your shoulders with your elbows. And then here, we're just gonna do a little bit of strengthening in the back body. So lift your chest and your arms as you press the tops of your feet down. And then we're gonna lower. Lift up and lower. 3 more. One more. Lower down. Take your right forearm. Come prop up on it. Join me on your right forearm. And we're gonna grab our back leg with our left arm, or our left leg with our left arm. So this is our first little moment of more intentionally and intensely opening the front of the thigh. We did a little bit with our eagle arm fold. And you'll just go as far as you can until you can't go anymore. Your body will tell you when to stop. If you're super flexible, your heel might be at your butt right now. Or you might be up here. It's all good. And release that. We'll go ahead and do the other side. Yeah, let's go ahead and do the other side. That way we feel nice and balanced. So right hand to the top or the inside of the right foot. And then we'll have a few breaths here so you have some time to let your body acclimate. And you might have some time to work into a different intensity. Maybe. Lovely, y'all. Release slowly. Let that joint kind of peel itself back open. Let's take upward facing dog and have your toes tucked on this upward facing dog so your legs and hips are floating off the mat. Palms right underneath your shoulders. Pull your chest up. And then draw the hips straight back, downward facing dog. We'll do that a few more times. Pull forward, upward facing dog. Pull back, downward facing dog. 3 more. Roll forward and back. Just imagine that your mat is like a seashore and your body is that wave that's pulling forward to crash on the shore, and then the tide recedes back. Just one more. Roll forward and pull back. Oh, I can tell that I haven't taught for a while because I'm extra chatty. Bear with me. Pedal your feet a little bit more. Come up onto your toes. Bend your knees. Big step forward, maybe the opposite leg this time. Forward fold. Ooh, that feels good. Half lift, inhale. Forward fold, exhale. Reach all the way up, stand tall. Another round of side stretches. Reach both fingers up. Lean over to the right. To the middle. This time let's interlace the opposite way, the way that feels wrong. And we'll do that. Same thumb and pointer finger are released from the bind. It's just the rest of the fingers that are interlaced. And we'll move back and forth. One more set. And then back up through center. And we're gonna take a breath in, reach the arms up, forward fold all the way down. Step your feet out about hips distance apart. And you're gonna grab, I'll do it this way so y'all can see what I'm doing. Grab the left ankle with the right hand and the right ankle with the left hand, right? Yeah, right ankle, left ankle with right hand. Just grab opposite ankles, y'all. And you're gonna fold over, but then you're gonna start to walk your feet out. So walk your feet out like, if you can, even beyond the range of your mat. So you're in this kind of tied up little bind with your arms crossed over. And then you're gonna take your chin over to your left shoulder. If your left arm is on top, take your chin over to your left shoulder, tuck your chin into it. And we're just gonna take a few swallows with our shoulder pressed into our throat. You don't wanna compress the windpipe, but we are giving our thyroid a little bit of a massage here. Cool, now drop the chin back to the middle. Reverse the stack of your arms. So right arm is on top this time if the left arm was on top last time. And just take a moment, walk your feet out a little bit more if you can maybe, stretching the outside of the shoulders. And then take your chin to your right shoulder, whatever fleshy part you can hook on there. And then we'll just spend a few breaths swallowing. You can even hum if you want to. Vibrations massage the thyroid as well. So, And then release the hands, release the arms. They feel like noodles now because they've been all stretched out. Walk your feet back towards the center. Come up to a halfway lift. Inhale. Step the right leg back. Low lunge. Staying up on the back knee. Lift your chest. And then draw the hips back. Your toes can peel up off the mat if that feels okay. Forward and back. Flossing out the hips. So 2 more rounds. And 1 more round. All right, pull all the way forward. Tap the back knee down. Adjust your blanket as needed. reach your arms up. And we're going to take eagle arms, right arm under. And then right away, just pulling those elbows off the chest. Pressing the forearms away from your face. Trying to open. Imagine this action coming from the shoulders spreading apart from the spine. So it's not even just about your elbows tugging you forward, it's about the action of your shoulder blades pushing your elbows forward. And we'll start to lift back. Already start to feel that right hip flexor, front of the right thigh stretch. Go as far as feels good. And then we'll come forward, hooking our elbows over our knees, still in our eagle arms. You can press your hips a little bit more forward if that feels good in the stretch. That work we did at the beginning of class is helping to make all of this more productive. Because if we went right into this without doing those warm-ups, our body would be like, okay, excuse me, no, this is not happening. And then we'll unwind the arms. Bring the hands to the mat. Make a fist with your left hand. Tuck your knee, like right on your patella, right on that kneecap. Tuck it into the hollow of your armpit. And then dig around in there. Y'all see what comes up. See if like any emotions come to the surface or anything that's like kind of weird and out of place, and just make a note of it and then move right along. Going one way, almost even visualizing those lymph nodes being flushed and being worked and stretched. Go the other way. All right, right on, you guys. Bring both palms to the mat. Tuck the back toes, lift the back knee. Step back, high plank. Take a breath in. We're gonna lower to the belly. Grip the mat as you lower. Awesome. We're gonna take half locust, which is kind of what we did before, but this time we're gonna bring a twist into it. So you're gonna reach your right palm back to your left ankle. And then if you want, you can take your left arm up, but you're gonna keep your right leg extended. Or you can keep your fingertips or your arm on the ground. I'm just reaching up, just like you would locust, lifting through the chest, lifting through the left thigh. One more big reach of the toes up, and then carefully let go. Take a little shake, and then we'll come to the other side. So up on the right forearm, grab your right foot with your left hand, and then lift up. It's okay if it feels weird. If you have hips that are feeling sensitive right now, take your blanket and put them under there. Breathe deeply and evenly. For one more big lift. And then release carefully. Come to Sphinx pose. Elongating the tailbone back. And then take your fingertips wide. Outside of your mat, about in line with your shoulders. Like you've got big frogs or something that you don't want to squish with your palms underneath your hands. And then just lift, straighten the elbows as much as feels good. And then gently start to lower. And coming all the way down to your mat. Let's windshield viper our legs. Just back and forth. And then we'll relax the legs down. Place your palms underneath your shoulders. Tuck your back toes. Come up to upward facing dog with toes tucked. Roll back, downward facing dog. Hips are high. 3 more of those. Roll forward. Exhale back. Forward. And back. And one more. And all the way back. Lovely. Into your down dog. Press your heels down. Lift your hips from the hip creases, y'all. From the hip creases, lift them up. Take a breath in. Take a breath out. So we're going to walk our hands back towards our feet. So gently walking them back to a forward fold at the back of your mat. Separate your feet about shoulders distance apart. Bend the right knee. Take the right hand. Grab the outside of the left ankle. Reach the left arm up. Twist. And you might notice an abundance of space after the bending and the rolling. And abundance doesn't mean like the most space ever. It just means more space than you had, 40 minutes ago. We'll sweep the left arm down, bend the left knee, grab right ankle, left hand, reach the right arm up. Nice. Big reach. And then lower all the way down. Hang over your body. And then walk forward. High plank to belly. And I'm going to place my blanket right underneath my hips. You can do that too. Take cactus arms once again. Bring your right ear to the mat. And then roll onto your right side. But leave your shoulder, leave that right arm exactly where it was. So right ear to mat. Cactus arm behind you, and then that left hip's just stacking right on top of the right. I like to bend my knee and land my foot behind me. If you'd like to bind here, you can do that too. Grab your top foot with your top hand. This is when I like to practice being open-minded and being patient. When my body is in a position that is not normal as far as like what we do every day. Like I never find myself naturally in this position, but that just means it's somewhere we need to spend extra time to counteract all that forward slumping, all that sitting, all that texting, all those virtual classes, virtual studying, virtual meetings. It's nice to get into your physical body after a bunch of that stuff. So start to roll towards the middle, release your bind. Come to cactus, arms in the left hand out to the side. Just notice that your elbow is in line with your shoulder. And then start to roll into the left hip. Right hip comes on top. And you can step that foot behind you. And again, we want to start easy. Start in the comfort zone. And if the opportunity presents itself to increase the intensity, to go a little bit further in the body, to take it. And taking the opportunity just to stretch your own boundaries a little. To feel what's possible. Even in slower flow, even when we're being gentle, we're still stretching our boundaries by being patient, by being still when we want to move. By letting the process unfold. And start to shift back through, release the bind if you've got a bind. Come back through center. Just take a breath here to feel the sensation kind of.
I found this on the web.
Oh gosh. Take a moment to let the sensations kind of reverberate throughout your body. After you release some intense stretch, it feels good to just let the flood of feeling come through. I'm going to press my palms underneath my shoulders. Cobra pose. And then we'll sit hips back. We're going to come to our seat and take a wide-legged forward fold. If straddle legs doesn't feel good for you right now, you can take a butterfly, bringing the soles of your feet in together. You're still going to get that nice inner thigh stretch. But here I've just been wanting to work a little bit more into the backs of my legs as well. So with your legs as wide apart as they can be while you still keep upright in your chest and your toes still point up towards the ceiling, gentle flex in your foot. And then start to walk your hands forward to fold right in between your legs. Start to feel the releasing of your own neck. The head drops down. Teeth release from each other. There's a bit of relaxation in the jaw and in the face. And then I'll lift almost coming like to a half lift in the fold. Just walk my hands over to the right side. You can grab your right foot or even reach your arm overhead. Left arm. And walk back through, don't rush. And then grab the left foot or left shin, whatever you can. Human connection is important even when it's our own connection, our own touch. Intentionally just breathe big into the right lung. All those side bends will benefit us right now. And we'll come back through the center. I'm gonna take double pigeon. If you prefer cow face, if you prefer to stack your knees, probably be a little intense after the straddle fold, but if that's your preference, go for it. I'm gonna come to double pigeon. Stack your right foot over your left knee, right knee over your left foot. Sit up tall. I'm gonna take Gomukhasana arms. So left arm up, right arm out to the side. Pat yourself on the back. Try to grab your fingers. If you can't grab your fingers, grab your shirt or a strap. Leaning over to the right side, pushing my left elbow up is going to lengthen through the triceps. So if you'd like to take that variation, you're certainly welcome. And come back through center. Release the arms. Right arm up, left arm out. Oh, we need to switch legs too. Switch legs. Left shin's on top this time, y'all. Right arm up, left arm out. Grab your fingers or your shirt or your towel. And just slowly start it to that side bend again. This time we're anchoring from the right hip. Pressing down the right hip as you reach away. Because if you stretch everything away, then you're not really stretching anything. So you gotta have some point of stability in your body to feel the stretch really working. Awesome. Come back through center. I'm gonna take a little bit of a fold. And then walk back up. Unwind your legs, y'all. Okay. Come to your back with your head on your blanket. Or if you have two blankets, and you can put one under your head, one under your hips, or one under your knees, whatever it is. Come to happy baby. Grab the outside edges of your feet. Gently sway. Just like you're a boat docked in a really, really calm bay. So you're just making the gentlest of sways. Cross your right knee over your left, and then grab the outsides of your feet. And then you can gently sway here too. So it's like a reversal of sorts of what we just did. Don't tump over. And then reverse. So other leg stacks. I'm gonna reposition my blanket. You might notice one side feels better, like more, you feel more capable in the stretch. We like to sometimes label stuff like that as like I have a good side and a bad side. Because as humans, we want to label things as good when we're really comfortable doing them. Bring your feet to the floor. Let's take some windshield wipers. But I think things are good even when they're uncomfortable, even when it's challenging. We can still find good there. Knock knees together, feet out wide, constructive rest. So try to keep your feet flat. Bring your knees in towards the center, just giving those outer hips a bit of a gentle stretch and releasing the inner thighs. And bring your hands to your body if that makes you feel more connected. Let your eyes drift closed. And then keeping your eyes closed, just trust that you know what to do here. Bring your knees up to your forehead. Curl your nose in towards your knees. Take a big squeeze on your body. Give yourself some love, some touch, some effort here. And then Shavasana. Just let all effort go. Set yourself up for ultimate comfort if you have a pillow or something that you'd like to place anywhere. Let this be your affirmation to yourself that you are worthy to be taken care of and you are worthy of rest. And listen to the subtlety of your breath. You can feel that gentle pulse of your heartbeat. Feeling the air surrounding you, touching your skin. Feeling your back body soften into the earth and your front body soften into your back body. And you can stay here just like this in Shavasana, in quiet mind and in quiet body for as long as you want. That is my gift to you, permission to stay laying down for as long as you want. However, if you feel complete in your practice and you want to start waking back up, roll to your side. Turn your belly down towards the earth. Tuck your knees in. Be gentle with yourself as you're ready to lift up to your seat. Moving out of your Shavasana like you're a 90-year-old tortoise or something, just easing your place to a seated position, sitting on your blanket, and keeping your eyes closed or just softly focused downward, just the softest gaze. Bring your hands to heart center, give yourself gratitude. I have gratitude so much for each of you. See you next time. Have a peaceful night. Namaste. Thank you so much. I hope you'll have a great rest of your day. And we'll see you next time. Let us know if you have any questions.